During the course of a normal working day, over 4 million people use rail services. Inevitably, when carrying so many customers, lost property and carelessly discarded rubbish are frequently encountered on the tracks, on trains, and in stations. Scenes like these are only too common, but given a little thought, can normally be managed with confidence by staff at the scene. But events around the world continually remind us that some items have a more sinister purpose. Railways continue to attract terrorists, intent on publicizing their cause by generating fear, damage, and death. Accompanying bomb threats and hoax devices further exploit public fear and maximize disruption. The bomber knows that while an incident in a shopping center may affect hundreds of people, disruption to rail services may affect hundreds of thousands.
Good evening. IRA bombs closed railway lines in the southeast.
Detailed analysis of terrorist activity from this country and around the world has highlighted the opportunistic nature of the railway bomber. While a terrorist could do anything in theory, the reality is very different. They do not want to be caught. They do not want their bombs to be discovered prematurely. They want their attacks to succeed. But increased staff vigilance means potential bombers must always be on their guard and continually risk the detection of their devices. Passenger awareness ensures less property is lost and items which are unattended are quickly reported, thus reducing the opportunity for a bomb to be placed in the open. CCTV images can dramatically increase the terrorists' risk of identification and their subsequent conviction. Station design has reduced the number of hiding places which are easily available to the opportunist bomber. Specialist policing ensures a rapid and coordinated response to all potential terrorist incidents. In summary, there's a very strong likelihood that where all these measures are in place, a terrorist attack will not succeed, and fear of failure, for whatever reason, is a significant deterrent. While these and more sensitive measures have in the past successfully deterred bombers, terrorists can be unpredictable. Their tactics may change. There may be long periods between attacks. Vague bomb threats continue to be made whether or not bombs are placed. Terrorists make mistakes. So, in the same way that it would be wrong to treat every unattended item as a bomb, it would be equally unwise to automatically pick items up without first taking a few moments to consider the options. The purpose of this video is to give you enough information to make the right choice for the right reason. This is an everyday occurrence. Approximately 250,000 items are encountered just like this every year. It's treated as lost property rather than a bomb by this member of staff because he's first considered the following factors. It has not been hidden. It is not obviously suspicious. It is typical of what is regularly discovered. Since the introduction of measures already outlined, there have been no recorded instances of an item with these characteristics being a bomb. The bag is therefore confidently treated as lost property. This is not so straightforward, as the bag is not where people normally forget their belongings. More importantly, it's not in clear public view. But this is a very public location, and whoever left it risks being observed, something a terrorist is actively trying to avoid. So again, based on the HOT assessment, the bag is dealt with by platform staff. While the item was partially hidden, it is not obviously suspicious. It is typical of what is regularly discovered. But what about this? As before, it's been placed so as not to be immediately visible. This time, whoever left it could have done so without being observed. It's not an obvious bomb, but it must be treated with caution. On closer inspection, the bag does appear to contain something bulky, although the contents are not exposed. It could be treated as lost property, but it's certainly not so easy to discount with confidence. Control has therefore been informed and police assistance requested. It's important to remember not to use your radio until you've moved away from the item, but do not turn your radio off. As soon as possible, passengers and other members of staff should be moved out of line of sight. Specially trained police officers were able to establish the bag had simply been abandoned. However, it was hidden, obviously unusual, if not actually suspicious, and most certainly not typical of most lost property items. Had this item been discovered after a categorized bomb threat, it's likely a full station evacuation would have been recommended. The member of staff therefore acted extremely wisely. We know stations are no longer easy targets for the terrorists, and that explosions are an increasingly rare occurrence. But the possibility of a surprise attack cannot be ruled out. You should always be conscious of the threat even during lulls in terrorist activity. At first sight, this may not appear to be an obvious terrorist bomb, possibly only minutes from exploding, but on closer inspection, it can be established that it has been placed in such a way and in such a location that it, and whoever placed it, would not have been observed. It is hidden. The item appears to be secured with adhesive tape. Batteries and wires are visible. It is obviously suspicious. Whatever it is not typical of lost property. In this situation, it is important not to panic, but speed is of the essence. Quickly move yourself and anyone nearby out of line of sight. Try to avoid areas which are near parked cars or surrounded by glass, and if possible, prevent people from re-entering the danger area. Once you consider yourself to be safe from the item you have seen and other possible bombs, inform your control, who will request immediate police assistance. Then stop and collect your thoughts. If you are sure you're in a safe location, prepare 2 sketches. One of the item and one of the route to its location. When the police arrive, they may decide to examine what you have found themselves. In any eventuality, they'll still require the answers to the following questions. What is it? Size, physical appearance, etc. Where is it? The access route, any obstacles or other hazards. When you first noticed it. Remember, the police will want to talk to you and anyone else who may have seen the item or anything else suspicious. The better prepared you are, the safer you will be. Also, if this information is immediately to hand, it's more likely that the bomb disposal team will be able to prevent an explosion. So, to summarize what we've learned from numerous terrorist incidents. Terrorists are opportunistic. They do not want to be caught. They leave bombs in public space, but where they cannot be observed and the bomb is difficult to see. They can be deterred by the prospect of failure. They do make mistakes. By analyzing the thousands of previous security alerts, we know that lost property tends to be discovered in public locations. The following characteristics may indicate an item is more than just lost property if it's hidden, obviously suspicious, not typical of the environment. If, on closer inspection, an item is not obviously suspicious, examine further. If you're unsure, move people away and alert your supervisor or a police officer. If you believe the item is a bomb, initiate the evacuation procedure and prepare details for the police and bomb disposal team. Do not stand next to parked vehicles or near glass. Always be aware of the threat from other bombs. While it's not easy to defeat the well-motivated terrorist, it's possible to deter the opportunist bomber through structured security procedures. The measures discussed in this video will reduce the opportunities open to terrorists by making them fear being caught, making them fear being convicted, making them fear the attack will fail. Remember, the right choice is your choice.